Hi, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com. Welcome into my studio. Today we are going to draw a basic apple. I used this one as my model, but I like the stem on this one, so I kind of put them together. This one has the stem from this one. So let's get started. Hello, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com. And here I am. We're going to draw a basic apple. And I have three apples sitting here. They're artificial, but I use them a lot for drawing and painting. And this one here is basically red with just a little bit of a light green in there. It's got a good stem though, so I might use the stem part in the other. I'm not going to use that one, but I might use that stem. This green one here has practically no stem left, but it's a nice green apple. There's lots of different shades of green, but we're going to be drawing, so that doesn't really matter. I really like to draw this one. I've painted this and drawn this a number of times, but it doesn't have a stem, so I will probably draw this stem on this apple, okay? So it's going to be sitting right here, and I'm going to, today we're going to draw it, and then we're going to paint it another time. So I'm going to just put a line down the center to tell myself where to stay. Don't get over there, Sharon, stay over here. Okay, so then I have to look at my apple. What view do I like the best? So you turn it, you set it, you look at it, you turn it again. I kind of like that view right there. Now you have to remember, I'm down lower than you are. You're kind of looking at it from the top, and I'm looking at it from the side. Okay, so down here on the bottom, it's almost kind of flat. Now I am using, this is a 5B pencil. I've kind of worn it off. It feels like it may be darker than 5B. But anyway, it's going to have a little bit of a bottom there. Then it's going to come up. Gonna come back around. It's going to get fat over here. Come back down into here. Okay, so this shape's not exactly right. Use my kneaded eraser to take that out. And we're going to kind of fix this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take out this. You need to keep your eraser handy so you can erase what you need to do. Okay, now this looks very weird, doesn't it? Doesn't look much like an apple. Okay, because I am looking at this part, the back part of the apple. The stem part is like down in here. There's another one that goes over here, goes here. There's another one right in here. Okay, I'm going to draw the stem from the other apple in it. Okay, it's going to go out over here, bigger than the apple. It's kind of a big stem. It's got a little bulbous on the end there, and then it comes back down. But it gets wider at the bottom. Okay, so there we go. So there's my stem. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I've got this red and I've got the green coming up. Now I am going to, in here, put, it needs to drop, it's dropping down in the center, so it has to get dark down in that center. Okay? So my pencil is doing the work in that it's making the shape. Instead of going like this back and forth, I'm going in one direction. There we go. So now I've got it dark down in here. I'm going to pull out my smallest pencil is my darkest pencil, so that's how I know it. I'm going to make some darker down here in the center. I want it to drop down in there further. Now I'm going to make those creases darker. There's one back there. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to, let's see here. What do I got? So this must be a 6B that I was using. Here's a 5B. That's a 2B. Here's a 5B. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to bring some of this around this way. And it's going to go all the way to the edge of the apple. And again, you're drawing in the way that it's going. You're letting your pencil make the shape for you. Instead of going like this, okay, you're doing one stroke at a time. Okay, so all back in here is dark. It's all red back in here. Now, if let me pull that apple just a little closer. There. From where I'm sitting, there is highlight, 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 and highlight. There's no highlight in here, and there's not, well, there's a little bit of one there, and then there's nothing there. So all this is dark red. All the way to the end. And again, my pencil is doing the work. It's shaping the apple. Okay, so now as I'm looking at the apple, I'm seeing the red is coming down into here. And it's not even. It's kind of almost, not, I don't like the word stripe, but you know. And then there's a lot of dark red, well, not too dark, but coming down this way. Okay, so now we need to see how this is up. We need to get that darker out in here. Okay, so now I'm going to get a really light, let's try this 4H. 4H means, H means hard, so 4H means really hard. So this is going to be the green. And again, you let the pencil make the shape of the item. They're going to go up into each other. They're going to get married up in there. The only place where your pencil will be going straight and you won't be doing it long is right in the center where you're looking straight at it. Okay? So now this one's going to come over this way. on this side. It's going to go up into here. So now you can see I have two definite different things going on there. This is the green, this is the red. This is a 6B pencil. Okay, so now I am going to bring this out a little further, this dark part. It's always you're always adjusting by what you're looking at. That's why it's so important that you learn what you're seeing. Okay, so now what I need to do is take my eraser and put in the highlights. In fact, I'm going to make this even darker all the way out. I think the highlights will show up so much better if I'll just get that done. Maybe I'll just leave a little bit there and I'll come back and yeah, there's some highlight right in there. And it stops and then it starts again. And comes all the way down into here. There's a little bit of a highlight. It's much lighter highlight that here, what I'm seeing from my vantage point is much lighter here than it is right here. So I'm going to come back with my eraser and get that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to make some red streaks over here. And then there's one out here, so it's right in here. Okay, so now I'm going to work around that. And then there is a very light one. These kneaded erasers are great because you can knead them and make them any shape you need. So you need a little pointy area right there. You just create it and it's going to be right in there. Okay, and then there's something back in here and a little over here. So now I'm going to come back with my, you can almost see a circle at the top because there's an overhead light. So I'm going to come back in front of and behind that highlight because this part over here on the back side of that apple is going to be dark. Same thing over here. It's going to be dark down over here. Down in this center, it'll be dark. There we go. Okay, so now you can, I've got a couple of little marks in here, so I might want to just add those. Okay, so now what have I got down in here? Where this apple is sitting on the table, there is no shadow, but there is, I'm looking at where this apple sits on the table. It is very dark. Where anything sits on anything, it's very dark right immediately under it. And this little piece that goes up is all dark in there. Okay, so now he kind of looks like he's sitting on something. And on the edge, you have to get almost vanishing on the edge. Okay? Okay, so now it's sitting, and I'm looking at the shadow, and I see, I'm going to get here's my 4H pencil again. Okay, so his shadow is coming, I'm getting into the paint. Oh my gosh. And so I'm running out of room here where the tape is. It comes all the way to where this part ends. Okay, so there is that shadow. So now I'm going to come in here with my pencil and I'm going to put a shadow in. And you can go back and forth on this one. It's funny how it didn't look too much like an apple until these highlights got in there. It's funny, you know, when you're drawing or painting something, that's why people give up too soon. They think, oh gosh, this is horrible. This is awful. Keep going. Don't give up so easy. This is not a perfect apple. It's okay. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is I've got a chandelier over me with like 6 lights, so I'm seeing different layers of shadows all over the place. So that's a 4H. Let's see, what else could we use? I don't want to use a 5H. I don't want to use any Bs yet. Okay, so let's go with a 2B. So now we're going to have another shadow. He comes back over this way. Let's see. This one actually should be the darkest one. So I'm going to make it darker with this 2B. And it goes right up to the apple. So don't, make sure you get up there, okay? Get all the way up to that apple. Don't leave a white space. So now because I have that light source that's doing what it's doing, I have all those shadows, which is great because it gives me a chance to practice all that. What am I seeing? Where am I seeing it? Okay, so there's shadow number 1. I'm just going to put in 2 or 3. Okay, they're going to cross over each other. Okay, so out here comes another one. It goes like this. And it comes across and up to here. So right in here, it's going to be even darker than it was because this is the second layer of a shadow. So when you're looking at the item that you're getting ready to draw, okay, I'm going to switch pencils here. In this secondary area, I want a really light pencil. I want a really light shadow. So this is my lightest pencil. It's a 4H. Now, there are much lighter pencils. I just don't happen to have one. Okay, so there's two shadows, okay? This one here in the center has got 2 layers. This has 1 layer, this has 1 layer, okay? All right, so now I see one more, and it's coming way off over here, and it's coming in even closer and going to here, okay? So let's see, we're going to make this darker. And now, and over here is light. Okay, now this part is darker. I'm going to switch again back to, I don't think I want to go to an 8B, but maybe this 5B for this center section again, because it's got 3 layers of shadow on it now. So the light's coming from over top. Let's see. Where's this ending? So this whole section here is going to be darker. This is something that you can play around with. 20 minutes spend. I'm gonna set a timer for the next 20 minutes. I'm gonna draw a banana, an apple, a pepper, a pear, a tomato, and notice where the shadows are, because that's where it's going to start to look real. And then notice where the highlights are, because the highlights really sell it. Now this shadow in here, I'm not real happy with that yet. So, you know, you can keep playing with it for a while. You don't want to overwork it to death. This is a 3B. Let's try a little something in there. There we go. I kind of like what's going on there. Yep. There we go. And then this in here. This just has 2 layers. But you have to make sure that they overlap. You can't leave a white space there. Okay, so there we go. We've got a shadow, a great big shadow coming here, and then this one out here is coming, and then this is another light one coming around there. Now, if you were here, maybe you can see this one right here. I could really confuse the eye and put one off over here, but we're not going to go there. It's confusing enough as it is. It's hard to see. Okay, it's easier on the eye to have 1 or 2 shadows, but I'm just showing you what it is I'm looking at and what it is I'm trying to draw. But this part, these highlights here, that's what really sells that apple. So anyway, I hope that I'm going to see that you guys are going to try your hand at some very basic still life items. Again, apples, peaches, pears, plums, grapes, bananas, peppers, tomatoes, anything that's kind of smooth, kind of circular, has an odd or a little more odd shape maybe. Pears are going to be the hardest, but at any rate, you want to try this out and see where it'll take you. So the next video, we're going to paint it over here. Okay? Well, thank you so much. It's Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I sure would appreciate it. It helps get it out there for more people to see. It helps the algorithm, helps my channel grow. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Let's paint together soon. Hey, thanks for showing up today. I hope that you got something out of this video, that you're going to give it a try, that you're going to whip out your pencils and your paper and draw you up something that's in your kitchen right now. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. It helps everybody. So new people can find us. It helps the algorithm. It helps me grow my channel. And if you hit the notifications, and you'll get notified that little bell. You'll get notified every time I put something new up, which is weekly. So thank you so much. Painting with Acrylics 101.com. Have a great day. Let's paint together soon.